Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you how we can solve Cut the Sticks challenge. Cut the Sticks challenge is a very interesting challenge. What it says that you have been given a number of sticks of varying length. We will iteratively cut the sticks into smaller sticks, discarding the shortest pieces until there are none left. At each iteration, you will determine the length of the shortest stick remaining, cut that length from each of the longest stick, and then discard all the pieces of that shortest length. When all the remaining sticks are the same length, they cannot be shortened, so discard them. So basically what the description of this problem says that suppose the array is something like this: 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3 is 3 length. That is the initial length of this array. Then we are taking the first stick. In this case, the length of the first stick is 1, which is the shortest one. Always you have to take the minimum stick. So in this case, it is 1. Take that 1. Then we are going to subtracting that one from all the elements of the array. So the array becomes 0, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1, 3 minus 1 is equal to 2, 2. So in this case, we are using 3 operations. This is the first pass. Now, second. In the second pass, we are using the same array. Then we are getting the again from the minimum element from the array. In this case, this is going to be 1, not 0. We don't have to consider 0 at all. We are considering only the minimum element in the array. In this case, it is 1. So use that one. Then do the same operation. So the array becomes 0. Then 1 minus 1, 1. Then 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So in this case, this is going to be 0, 1. So in this case, we can subtract 2 elements because in this array only there are 2 elements which are having which is not 0. So in this case, 2. Now in the third pass, what happens is this array 0, 0, 1. The lowest element is 1 only, so we are taking 1 and we are subtracting this 1 from this 1 element. So the array becomes 0, 0, 0. So in this case, we have used 1 because we can subtract only 1 element from this array. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So this way we are getting there are 3, 2, 1 operations in order to subtract the elements and make it 0. So there are total 3 plus 2 plus 1. 3 in the first pass, second is the second pass, and 1 operation in the last operation. So this is the answer of this solution. So this is the answer. Answer is equal to 3, 2, 1. So this is what we are going to implement in this solution today. For that, we can go to the code. The cut the sticks is the name of this method. The input parameter is an array of integers, and the output, the return type is again an array of integers with this number of operations. So the first thing we have to do is, before we are just solving this challenge, to solve this problem is very easy actually, but we can just iterate all the elements and in couple of times or couple of iterations, and we can solve it. But those solutions should not be O(n) squared. If you are trying to solve the problem with O(n) squared and submit this code to HackerRank, then HackerRank will not accept that solution, because HackerRank expects the solution should not be O(n) squared. It should be at least in the form of something like log(n) or something like that. Okay, so we have to think a solution which we can solve it without having O(n) squared complexity. So what is that solution which will give you the better result? Okay, the idea here is, let us say this is our array, initial array 1, 2, 3. So in this case, what we are going to do is, we are iterating only one time in this case, but we are starting from the one element instead of 0th element. Then we are iterating until the length of the array. Then the trick is, we are comparing the current element and the previous element value. If it is not same, then we are subtracting the index value from the length of the array, and we are storing that length into the array list. This is what we are going to do in the whole operation. Okay, so we will see how we can do that. The first thing is that we need to sort this array using arrays.sort of error. Then we have a list is there of integer type al, so new array list integer. Then the first thing is that in the first case we need to add the length of this input array into the array list, because in the very first case, if you take the minimum value of the input array, we can subtract from all the elements from this input array with that value. So in that case, that operation, the size of the operation is the length of that array. So that is the reason we need to add the length of the array into this initial list, in this list initially. Now we are iterating over this loop for integer I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to a dot length, then I plus plus. Then what we can do is, we are checking whether the length of this array I not equal to ARR of I minus 1. If it is not equal, then we need to add the length ARR total length minus the index. In this case it is I. Then we are adding that index into the array list. Then what we can do is, integer idx is equal to 0. Then we are constructing an array from the array list. Then integer a is equal to new int of al.size. Then we are iterating integer n is equal to al. And then a of idx is equal to n, then idx plus plus. Then we are returns that array. So what we have done is, we have iterated only one time this time, but starting from the 1, not from 0. So the starting index is 1 here, and we are iterating, and we are checking whether the current element and the previous element are not the same. If it is not the same, then we are adding, we are subtracting the index value from the total length of the array, and that value is inserted into the array list. Okay, then we are constructing an array from this array list and returns the value to the output. Now we will see the run the code. Yes, we are able to solve this. We are able to pass these two test cases and see whether we can submit this code or not. So submit the code. File run message success. Okay, we are able to solve this challenge. It says congratulations. So this way we have solved this challenge. This is called cut the sticks challenge, and the complexity is almost n log n, because we need to sort the array initially, this one, and plus we are iterating the length of the array, so it is almost n log n. Hope you have understood this video. Thank you.